What's up YouTube? It's Audiolympia. I'm back here with another video coming to you from Audiolympia, where the world meets through music, movies, and speakers. Okay, today's video we're going to be talking a little bit about sound isolation, damping, and diffusion materials. Just a little bit. Again, as a forewarning, I'm not an engineer or anything like that, or a contractor. If you've been following my channel, you know that I've been working on my theater room a lot of those three key factors of trying to isolate my sound better, trying to sound dampen better as well, and working on diffusion. Again, because you don't really want a completely dead room, but you do want as much sound to stay in your room as possible without too much deflection going on, so you don't create too many nulls in your room there. So stick around, we'll get into that video in a second. If this is your first time stopping by, we want to welcome you. Thanks for doing that. We'd appreciate if you hit that like button. That'll really help get our video out there and help expose our channel better. So if you don't mind, just why don't you walk right over and tap it. Give it a tap. Tap, tap, taparoo. Okay, so without trying to break the bank and get your room to reach its full potential of just being able to have total home theater immersion of sound, I've been really experimenting with a lot of different materials. And I came across, of course, the common one that we all use, right? The foam pads. Hello. So in doing this here, I came up with a little bit of an idea from another video that I seen, and it made me kind of realize, like, wow, maybe these don't work as good as we thought they did. Of course, they're great for getting rid of echo, but what are the other three categories does it work for? So how well does it work for diffusion, and how well does it sound isolate? So I came up with a little bit of a project idea that I wanted to show you guys, and then we can draw our own conclusions from there. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's the example. I'm just going to use this box. And again, let me preface this. This is not very scientific at all. It's just me kind of having some fun using different materials here. But the goal is, again, trying to find out what is going to be the best as far as sound isolation, sound dampening, and of course getting rid of echo, but also sound diffusion. So empty cardboard box, just using the iPad here. Let's play it and see how that sounds. Okay, and you can see the volume's at about half level there. So let's go ahead and add some material here in the box. Okay, so now we have a little bit of the foam inside of the box here. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, so it did have a different sound, which is good. Again, we know the foam pads here are good for getting rid of echo. So it did have an effect on the sound waves here. But here was the actual important thing that I really kind of wanted to show you guys, was more of along the lines of this. So you heard how that sound. Let's do it again one more time. And now I'm going to cover it and then replay it. All right, here we go. So, to my surprise, when I first did this, to me, it really didn't have much of a difference in sound when I covered over it. All right, now that was only one foam pad, so let's try two of them. Okay, so I got two of them here now. I didn't do this before, so this is the first time I'm doing this using two of the foam pads covering my iPad here playing the music. So I'm actually going to start the music first, then place those on top to see if we notice a difference. Again, just kind of shoving these in here to make it work. So, really not sounding like it makes that much of a difference to me. I'm not sure if you guys are catching that on the camera here. But yeah, not really making that much of a difference. Now, I will say that part of this is because it's not airtight. So there's gaps, you know, where this, like over here in the corner, probably even on this side over here, down underneath. So all of those areas there, sound waves are going to travel through that, just like in our rooms. Now, of course, it'd be impossible to totally isolate your room, depending on the room that you have or the kind of room that you have set up. That would essentially kind of turn it into an anechoic chamber, which you don't want for a listening room or even a theater room. So let's go ahead and try something else. I got a few other pieces of material in mind that I felt worked a little bit better. So let's check them out. Okay, the next source material we have here is, some of you guys might recognize, these are little puzzle mats here, where it's made to look like wood on one side and it's foam padding on the other side. Now, again, just experimenting with different materials. As a side note, I bought these here to put in my basement as a little workout spot area. If you are going to purchase these for absorption, like what the package is and everybody advertises them for, do not. They are very, very inconvenient and not good at absorbing, whether you're going to be doing soft stuff or just laying on the ground, kneeling, hard, heavy things. They're okay to walk on, but you can see right here, they're not very, very thick. Pretty thin. So the absorption value of these is quite low. However, in doing things with them and trying different source material, even though they're a lot thinner than the foam pads, these are quite sound absorbing. So let's check it out. Go ahead and put it in. Press play. Yep. Okay. Now watch what happens here when I cover it. Big difference in the sound and the volume level there. As far as, I'm not sure if you're catching that on the camera here, but in my volume level, it dropped significantly, much more than the foam pads. Okay, so a little bit difference in the volume sound there. Again, I'm working on sound isolation. How much sound can we keep in the room with certain materials? So that's what this experiment is all about here. So let's do a combination now. Being that this foam is not, it's absorbent, but it's not soft, you know, so I believe the sound is going to somewhat repel off of it, more like a harder surface. So I'm going to use the foam pad here, cover it with another foam pad, and then place the cover of the absorbent puzzle mat on top. And let's see what we get there. Cover in there. You can see still not much of a difference in the sound, pretty much the same. So let's go ahead and put the top on. And there we we go. Big drop in sound. Big difference there. Now again, this is a little bit more airtight. You can see I kind of cut it, you know, pretty good size so that they can fit pretty snug in there in their positioning. Okay, so now I added 2 more pads in here on the edges. And I do realize I'm getting into that chamber stage where I'm creating like almost a airtight sealed up box. So this is gonna probably be more along the lines of something you would do inside of your wall, up above the ceiling, if you have the capabilities of being able to do that. So not necessarily something you would do on your wall, more like inside or up above the ceiling here. So creating a little bit of that airtight chamber, I'm gonna put the 2 pads back on top. Play the music. Okay. All right. Still pretty good sound coming through, coming out. Again, these foam pads are full of, you know, air sacs, hollows, and gaps, so it does allow the sound to travel through it, which I didn't realize it does it that much. Again, it's really good for just basically canceling out echo in a room. And the top. Okay, maybe a little bit, not too much more than what I thought here. And the song is turning off here. Okay, so that's about all I have for this video here, guys. Thanks for watching and joining in. But to end here with a couple of final thoughts. So now I've kind of realized that those foam pads really don't do very well, do a great job for sound isolation. They do a great job for sound damping. Well, I wouldn't even say a great job for sound damping. I would just say it does a really good job for getting rid of echoes. We've all seen the YouTube videos where people are in the room and they have them plastered all over the room, covered from floor to ceiling. And it may, on camera to us, sound a little bit better because at least you're not hearing to me, it just is a shrieking sound when you hear that echo in the room. Hopefully I'm not getting it here in my room. I do need some better treatment. But in trying to really captivate and control the sound, I'm realizing that these foam pads just don't do what we think they should do, or maybe they're not even designed to do that and they're advertised a little improperly, or maybe they're a little misunderstood, right? However, these are really cheap, so they're not very, very expensive, especially if you buy them online. That being said, I think I'm gonna I do have quite a few of these puzzle mats that like I said, I did use them for exercise workout area, but they just don't do the job of what you would expect for, for good impact absorption there. So I got quite a few of those. I think I'm gonna probably install them inside some of my walls or up above my ceiling. Again, my ceiling is open. I never really fully closed it yet. However, I did just make one of my sound clouds and got that installed, and I kind of like the sound effect of it. It's not a major one, but it's one that gives me enough detail in the room. So I got a video on that coming up here soon, you guys, on the 2 sound clouds that I put up in my room. And I'm probably going to throw some of this foam padding in there, not the foam ones, but the puzzle mat pads in my next clouds, and see what type of sound isolation factor it has for those. So thanks for watching, thanks for joining in here, you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.